All right, 44 Magnum versus 45 Super. It's going to be a hard cast, solid bullet comparison here. So both of these are 255 grain. Our 44 Magnum is rated at 1350 feet per second. Our 45 Super, 1075 feet per second. Now, what's interesting about the 45 Super is that, you know, it's got a lot more bullet mass and stuff like that than 10 millimeter. So a lot of times it's not as powerful as 10 millimeter, but you have that bullet mass, which kind of makes it a little bit more comparable in some sense to the 44 Magnum. So with our 44 Magnum, I have my 4 1/4 inch Smith & Wesson Model 69 here to test that. And our 45 Super, I use my Glock 41 because it is a 5.3 inch barrel. We get almost exactly the same amount of bullet travel in those guns. And with this, I put in a KKM matched barrel because it has a fully supported chamber, so that makes it a little bit safer. And I also have a 22-pound NDZ spring in here to cushion it a little bit. Got a brand new magazine. Now, even with all of that, sometimes I have some reliability issues with this because this gun is quite light, so it really is impossible to make it 100% reliable. So don't take my reliability of the pistol into account here. This is really just more of a ballistic test. So I'm going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy I get at the same time. Then I'm going to do my big game, dangerous game type ballistic test here, where I have a thick layer of carpet to represent fur. I have 6 inches of clear ballistics. Then I have a full 1/2 inch of medium density fiberboard. And then after that, I have 48 inches of clear ballistics. Hopefully I can catch these bullets, and I'm going to shoot at my steel target here from a little distance. So let's get started with this test. All right, first up we have our 44 mag rated at 1350 feet per second because I'm going through the chronograph. I'm going to go single action with this because, you know, I sometimes grip it a little too tight, which pulls my shots when I'm doing 44 mag. So 1350 feet per second is our rating. Let's see what we actually get. 1144. 1130, 1168, 1110, 1131. So not even close to our rated velocity at all. That's really close to the rated for our 45 Super. So let's see what we get here with our 45 Super rated at 1075 feet per second. See how close we get to that. 96, real close, and already have some malfunction issues. You know, it's not the fault of this pistol because this is not really designed to fire something like this, but it still gives us a good test medium here to see what we get with something like this. 1095, consistent. I got some magazine nosedives here going on. Pick that round up in a minute. Let's see what we can keep getting with the velocity here. 1091, I'm clearly not limp wristing it. It's just how, you know, this is gonna function in this. 1085, 1092. So that is really consistent and really, really close to that 44 Magnum. So, you know, we were talking a little bit smaller carry size guns. This is getting pretty close to some of your average 44 mag ammo. So let's hit our ballistics gel block and see what we get with these. All right, let's start up with our 44 mag. See what we get through this. Let's try our 45 Super now. All right, the 45 Super. Let's see how this one compares. We'll take a look. All right, so that's pretty interesting, but it's actually pretty predictable what we're seeing here. We see basically about the same amount of damage here. It looks like there's a gas check that was deposited by that 44 Magnum right about there. But our damage in both of these in the first block is about the same here, but we got less penetration with our 44 Magnum here, and that makes a lot of sense here. Now, I can't really tell you exactly what this penetration is going to be here because I don't have a measuring tape with me. But, you know, we're looking at somewhere in the vicinity, if we take about 3 inches off that and we add about 2 inches to here, we're talking about like something like 37 inches. with our 44 mag, with our 45 Super. You know, we went about 6 inches more, so you know, something like 43 inches there. And that's simply because, you know, you saw the smoothness of that 45 Super. It had a very smooth surface there, as where our 44 Magnum has a semi wad cutter type design, so it's going to kind of cut more as it goes through here. However, both of them, you know, they went very, very straight, and I would say both of these have adequate penetration for a large, dangerous animal, something like that. Now, take a look at our MDF here. Probably not going to see a huge difference here, but our 44 Magnum, you know, you can see how it kind of cuts more. This kind of just impacts like that. So not a really big difference there. The only thing here is 45 Super, you know, you can convert pistols over to it, but like you're seeing here with just a simple Glock, it might not necessarily be the best option for something like this. You know, if you have a Glock 21 or something like that, it might not necessarily function. Now if you get some sort of a heavier steel framed 45 and you make sure that, you know, it's set up for it where you have a good enough barrel, because, you know, 45 Super is basically just, it's a 45 ACP plus P plus, essentially, in some regard. It has different case strength and stuff like that, but outer dimensions are the same as a 45 ACP, so there's not a significant difference. You just have to make sure your pistol can handle it. So I think I am going to shoot from 75 yards, because why not? You know, with that 44 Magnum, I'm having a little bit of issue here with my rheumatoid arthritis and the cold today. I don't think I'm going to be able to fire it double action very well. So why not I just back up to 75 yards? I'm having reliability issues anyway with the 45 Super. Just see if I make some hits for fun. So let's get started with that part of the test. All right, looking at our 45 Super bullet versus our 44 Magnum, there's not really much change to this 45 Super bullet. You know, you have a slight amount of just, looks like it might be slightly uneven on one side, but really nothing really. With our 44 mag, I think it had a gas check, it lost, but our bullet nose actually has more deformation than the 45 Super, and that ledge with our semi-wide cutter, most of it's worn away. So interesting there. That's about what you may expect with something like that. 255 grain bullets. Interesting. All right, 75 yards. I'm just going to start up with our 45 Super here. Probably be a little bit less than reliable, especially at this distance, because you can't grip it to death if you're trying to make some accurate shots, but I'll see what I can do anyways. Not really sure where that hit. Yeah, it's so dark up there I can't tell. I'm just gonna keep aiming center. There we go. It's not feeding. All right. I think I was hitting a little bit low because I aimed really high that time. So keep going. All right, so not the easiest thing to do in the world. A little bit painful to shoot, to be honest, because this thing is like 26 ounces. So, not the most fun gun to shoot like that. At least with this, I got a rubber grip here. So, I'm gonna go single action. I don't think I'm gonna do well double action today. So, let's see what I can do. Aim center mass, and I think that should have hit, but let me aim a little lower, I guess. Not sure where those are hitting. I think they may be hitting high. Let me aim below the target about, I don't know, 2 feet. There we go. So I only brought 5 rounds with me, but once I aimed about 2 feet below the target, I can see that my point of impact is actually about 3 feet high with this particular round for some reason. Don't exactly know why that is, but let's just take all this reliability issue and my own personal accuracy where I have a flare-up of rheumatoid arthritis out of the way and just look at the ballistic gel performance here. And what we're seeing is the 45 Super and the right firearm would do quite well. I think it kind of rivals your average 44 Magnum. Now there's 44 Magnum loads that are more powerful. And if you get more barrel length than this 4 1/4 inch, yeah, 44 Magnum is way more powerful than a 45 Super. But looking at this here, we're just doing both Underwood. There's not a significant difference here. So if I had to use this for bear defense, and if I had to use, you know, that 45 here, if it was reliable for bear defense, I think I would use either. So that's what you get today. Interesting test either way. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.